Today, I am going to be showing you my personal favorite stretches and exercises that I do in order to prevent and mitigate any type of pain, especially while I crochet for long periods of time. Are you a young woman in her 20s who acts like a grandma and only has hobbies that of a grandma? Are your wrists crunchy? Did you hear the crunch? Do you look like Gollum working on My Precious when you were working on your crochet? Well, I have some help for you today. Although, disclaimer, warning. I am not a medical professional, okay? I am especially not your medical professional. I am nobody's medical professional. I am just some random girl on the internet who also has a lot of grandma hobbies and activities. I also experience a lot of wrist pain, mobility things, pain in general, etc., etc. Okay, these are just the personal exercises and stretches that I do in order to help mitigate any pain and in order to get me crocheting for long periods of time. Obviously, if these stretches or exercises are causing you pain, please stop doing them and please go consult with a medical professional. This is just what this random girl on the internet does. Please don't sue me. I feel as though a lot of the time we tend to only focus on stretches that are in your hands and like in your fingers, which are really great, and you should do those too. However, the body is a system. Everything is connected, right? And if you are not stretching out some of your major muscle groups, that may be causing more issues and pain for you rather than just like in your wrists or in your hands. So we are going to be doing some full body stretches as well as the stretches down to our forearms and our hands and our wrists. Before I crochet every day, I like to do a lot of these stretches. When I'm taking breaks in between crocheting, that's usually when I'll just focus on my hands and my wrists and my fingers and stretching those out. But let's start on some full body exercises. So one of the first stretches that I have always done ever since I was a kid is reach for your toes, and relax your whole body as you reach down. Try to make sure that there's not a lot of tension up here. Teddy is really staring at me, judging me. So after you have stretched and reached for your toes, you want to go the opposite way. Reach. Oh, get that really nice stretch in your back. You can also stretch from side to side. When I stretch from side to side, I try to make sure that I'm like swinging my body. I'm trying to make sure that like I keep my core very strong and simply just try to stretch like my upper back here. And then you want to reach backwards and also stretch this way. Stretch. You could even do a couple little pumps here. I find that it helps kind of just activate your muscles, especially like your upper back. I also like to stretch my neck. You want to gently push down on your neck until you feel that stretch right here. Ooh. And then go the opposite way. Then you want to nod. I've personally found that if I really push my body, that is when injuries can occur. So try not to push yourself too hard. I wanted to show you another stretch that I do to kind of open up this area. For me, this like kind of armpit area tends to be really tight. So what I'll do is I'll find like the edge of a door, like the side of a door, and then I'll make sure that my elbow is in about 90-degree angle to the door, making sure that my toes are straight and forward. I'll go ahead and kind of twist and stretch this part out. But you just want to make sure that you are stretching this out. Just slightly twist your body. And you can switch. I've personally found that that exercise is really helpful because I get a lot of tension right here. Another trick that I have, I can't find it right now, but if you have a tennis ball, you can kind of take a tennis ball and kind of massage this area out, especially if it's also really tense for you. I went to physical therapy one time and my physical therapist told me about the tennis ball, like massaging the tennis ball right in this area, and also pressing up against the tennis ball. Like imagine that the tennis ball's right here, like you press and you can massage it out. I know that some of you may be very disturbed that I'm stretching in jeans. I have to say though, I am naturally pretty flexible, so that is why. Me personally, I don't really care. Again, I'm not a medical professional, so maybe don't listen to me. Now, another major area or body muscle group that you want to stretch, especially if you're going to be sitting for long periods of time, crocheting or knitting, you want to make sure that you're also stretching out those glutes, those hamstrings, the hips in general. I'm currently on the floor with my dog licking my feet. Okay, bye. I also really like to stretch out my hips as well as like my glutes, my hamstring, that sort of area. I have my legs out in front of me. I'm gonna go ahead and stretch. Every single time I'm on the ground trying to stretch, Teddy always wants to play. He thinks it's playtime. I'm trying to stretch and then we can keep playing. We can keep playing. But that stretches. Another thing that I like doing is bringing my leg, like one of my legs, up and over the other leg, and then just pulling it tight towards myself. And then another thing that you can do as well is kind of put your elbow on this knee and then twist. I'll also bend this leg in towards me, have the foot like in towards my crotch, and then I'll bend over with the opposite arm. So my right arm goes over towards my left leg. And then now switch and bring this over, bend over. You want to try like leaning into the stretch. Like you don't want to not feel anything, but if it starts to become painful, don't force yourself into the stretch. And then you can bend this leg over, hug it towards yourself. Now he's calmed down. And then go ahead and twist. And then to round it out, I'll just usually do some butterflies as well. Do the stretches that feel good for your body, and you can always repeat them as necessary. Now let's get into more of the shoulder, forearm, wrist, hand exercises. Actually, one of the things that I really enjoy doing, aka I make my partner massage me all the time, is massaging my forearms. So the way that you can do that is just take your opposite hand and just grab and massage. Just massage it out. Also, when crocheting for long periods of time, I have a timer/alarm on my phone that tells me that I've been crocheting for an hour, so it's time to stretch. I recommend stretching, at least every hour. The first exercise that I really like doing is interlace your hands and then rotate, what is this, clockwise? I don't know, one way, rotate it one way, clockwise/counterclockwise. Doesn't really matter because you're gonna rotate the other way again. Another thing that I like doing is taking my hand and then individually with each finger, just making sure that there is mobility there and just moving it around. You can also pull and kind of massage each and every individual finger. And then you're going to repeat it with your other hand as well. And then you're gonna wanna interlace your fingers and stretch. You can go the other way as well. Another thing that I really like doing is stretching my arm way up in front of me, and then with my palm facing out, I'll go ahead and stretch that. Stretch it till, you can feel the stretch, but don't push it too much, because if you push it too much, you are probably going to injure yourself, and we don't want that. And then you want to flip the other way around, and then likewise, just go ahead and pull it towards you. And then repeat. stretch and stretch. I'm naturally pretty flexible, and I'm also incredibly double jointed. So don't force yourself to stretch as much as I am. This is just where I feel the stretch personally. Okay, another thing that I really like to do is just shake it out. Just shake, 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 shake. This is like something that my therapist taught me years ago. If I'm feeling a lot of like tension in my body and the stretches aren't really helping me, what I'll do is I'll purposely scrunch. I'll go like really scrunch, 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 scrunch. And then like release it. Let it go, let it pass through your body. You are okay, you will be okay. So now I do what I like to call my witchy fingers. So I'll just spread them far apart, as far apart as you can. You want to stretch, 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 and then close. Close your fingers. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Close your fingers. Don't clench too tightly. You don't need to clench too tightly. And then close. Stretch, and then close. I also really enjoy doing prayer hands. Try to relax your shoulders. Try to make sure that your ears are away from your shoulders. And then go ahead and do prayer hands. And you're going to hold them up and down. Whoa! You can do little windmills, forward and backwards. If you're sat doing these exercises as well, try not to cross your legs. I know that I have the tendency to cross my legs when I sit. Try not to cross your legs. Try to have both feet flat on the ground as you do these exercises. And that can cause undue stress and strain on your back and like your hips as well. And then I go ahead and then just stretch. Stretching like my upper arm out, but simultaneously I'm taking this other arm and kind of like stretching, deepening the stretch, as well as kind of massaging my forearm at the same time. Okay. And that's basically all the hand and wrist exercises that I'll do. Oftentimes when I'm experiencing a little bit of tightness or tension in my wrists and my hands, I will just start stretching them until I feel the stretch and it feels good. Remember to hydrate. I know that it can be really hard. It's very hypocritical coming from me. But do as I say, not as I do. It's very good to hydrate your body and make sure that you have a lot of liquids in your system to make sure that things are loosened, that you are keeping up good health. I think the key thing is just making sure that you are still being active as much as you can. I take my dog out on walks all the time. We go on very long walks. If you find a sport or a physical activity that you enjoy doing, do that. Sleep is very important. I've gone live a couple of times and several of you are like, it's 3 a.m. where I am, and I'm like, go to bed. Go get some sleep. I hope this helped. I hope you are stretching, taking care of yourself. We can't make beautifully handmade crocheted wearables if our body is unhealthy, if our body is not, properly exercised and stretched. Thank you to my Patreon members over on Patreon. If you would like to become a Patreon member, I would really appreciate it. You can get access to my supply list as well as written patterns. Yeah, happy stretching, happy crocheting, and I'll see you later. Bye.